The COVID 19 pandemic has turned everyone's lives upside down for well over a year now. Many people have lost loved ones, their homes, and their jobs. We have all had to adjust to the loneliness of isolation. Now that we have a vaccine, we are beginning to see a glimmer of hope. But this does not mean that we are out of the woods just yet. Today, I am here to persuade you to overcome the misconceptions and hesitancy regarding the COVID 19 vaccine. The World Health Organization stated on May 4th, 2021, that the number of COVID 19 cases remains at the highest levels since the beginning of the pandemic, with over 5.7 million new cases weekly. First, I am going to be talking about the problems that can arise from the lack of COVID vaccinations. Second, I'll explain why people do not want the vaccine. And third, I'll offer solutions that can be taken in order to help overcome COVID vaccine hesitancy. Let's get started by talking about the problems. Not getting the COVID vaccine can pose major problems on both the individual and global level. First, on the individual level, major health risks are still at play. The University of Alabama published an article in January of 2021 which stated that the vaccine reduces the probability of contracting the virus as well as getting seriously ill if one does contract the virus. This means that if you do not get the vaccine, you are still at a very high risk of one, getting COVID, and two, being hospitalized from COVID. Now let's move on to the global implications. In an article published by CNN in May of 2021, it stated that if herd immunity cannot be reached, then we will most likely not be able to return to our pre-pandemic lives. Herd immunity is achieved when a certain proportion of the population is immunized against a virus, which will then protect the rest of the population. Lack of vaccinations can present major issues on both the individual and global level. Now that we have discussed the problems, let's move on to why this is happening. There are a lot of misconceptions regarding vaccinations, and this is leading to vaccine hesitancy. One misconception is that the vaccine is a way for the government to track people, and another misconception is that the vaccine was developed too quickly and therefore is not safe. Let's talk about the misconception that the government is using the vaccine to track people. The New England Journal of Medicine published in April of 2021 that the people propagating the rumor often point to a study which speaks of a technology that delivers microparticles intradermally during vaccinations. Although there is no scientific evidence to support these findings, many people are still holding on to this misconception. Another misconception is that the vaccine is not safe. Many parents have stopped vaccinating their children because there was a rumor that vaccines caused autism, and the COVID vaccine is no exception to these rumors. In an article published in Scientific American in March 2021, it stated that a study of adults was done where the adults worried about vaccinations, and even though they were presented evidence that showed that they should not worry, they still did not budge on their hesitancy towards vaccines. This shows that even when presenting facts, many people still hold on to misconceptions regarding vaccines. Now that we have examined the causes, let's uncover some solutions that can fix this issue. Vaccine hesitancy can be solved if trust is established and if there is constant reminders to get the vaccine. The Michigan Health published an article in February of 2021 which stated that providing emotional support and talking about known risks is a key way in order to establish trust in vaccines and overcome hesitancy. Transparency and respect is vital in order to make those who may be skeptical of the vaccine more comfortable. Another solution for vaccine hesitancy is to constantly remind people of its importance. An article in eClinical Medicine published in September 2020 stated that the U.S. public health officials and policymakers need to prioritize effective COVID-19 vaccine accepting messages for all Americans. This shows that normalizing vaccinations is one way in which we can fix vaccine hesitancy. To wrap up, today I persuaded you to overcome vaccine hesitancy. I did this first by talking about the problems of lack of vaccinations, second, the causes of vaccine hesitancy, and third, the solutions that can be implemented in order to overcome this issue. Overall, we all want to return to our normal lives, and this can be done if we all get vaccinated in order to achieve herd immunity and protect the population.